We all remember live events, right? Well, I don't blame you if you have forgotten about them since it's been so damn long. Well, before we talk about what really happened to live events, let's start with what are live events in the first place for the newbies. Live event essentially is an interactive movement in the game's environment that everyone can see at the very same time. You see, this is very impressive as having millions of players experiencing the same exact thing as you takes a lot of resource power. Now that we got that out the way, the very first live event was actually the Meteor falling down onto the map in season 3. There's a large misconception that people think the rocket launch was the first one, but that was actually the second one. And I vividly remember the Meteor watching all the game modes get erased and just the actual game mode for the event itself, so that all the server priority can go for the live event, as again I mentioned that it takes a lot of resource power. Before this, no other game had really done such a long thing like this, so this was very new to us. There were so many people on the game that the queues went up to 1 day and people just couldn't log into the game, and this was 30 minutes before the live event would start. Fortnite frankly just wasn't prepared for many people to show up, so the servers just couldn't handle it. It was a huge success, not only in the numbers that showed up, but the people watching on Twitch and YouTube was really high too. And in terms of Fortnite lore, the storyline, this allowed the people to get on board with the story and people tapped more into the storyline, which eventually, yeah, we'll talk about that later in the video, what really happened to the storyline. One of my favorite live events to ever happen is the fight between the mecha and the monster. That was really insane and really well delivered. There was a ton of hype for that event as well, so that the expectations were really high since the previous events have been really good and up to the mark. So let's get into the main question. What really happened to live events? To be honest, Fortnite's interest isn't with Battle Royale anymore, and we can clearly see this with their focus on creative, Unreal Engine 5, rocket racing and many other things they have added. Fortnite releases a new chapter once every year and they are just too busy trying to plan ahead that they forget to focus on the current chapter and listen to the community, fix bugs, and if they planned this stuff isn't working, they have no plan B for them, and this season is a prime example for this. This is why the past few chapters have been lackluster, especially in terms of events. When we have the Travis Scott event and the Marshmellow concert, they happened when Fortnite was grinding to impress the player base and honestly the world, and the game was just so popular that people from other industries wanted a piece of the pie, so they were offering to do their show or concert in the game too, especially the numbers Fortnite was pulling when the story events happened. Now that the player base has dropped significantly and the same outside industries are no longer interested in doing a concert with Fortnite, as I'm sure it does take lots and lots of money and time for this to happen, and usually it's only like 5 minutes, but it takes weeks if not months of just hardcore preparation, the graphics work just for a concert to happen. The last we've seen a concert was from Ariana Grande in 2021. Can you actually imagine it's been 3 years and we haven't heard anything about a concert since then? And how, you may be asking, we don't have any storyline events? Well, Fortnite storyline after chapter 3 has just been all over the place. I remember when they would make little updates within the season about the storyline, such as the lore in the bunkers in chapter 1. Well, now that just doesn't happen anymore. If there is no story present, then the live event just doesn't make sense anymore. And if the story is very confusing to the majority of the people, as frankly no one knows what's actually happening, and talking about the past few story events haven't been the best either. It's just been like mini games within the game itself, like the one on the screen right now. It's not like they used to be, like watching a fight happen or something dramatic or spectacular happen, like with the mecha fight that would actually genuinely affect the map itself and the changes would correlate to the next season. That just doesn't happen anymore. For this reason, people have lost interest in live events, and why not many people are asking for them to come back. Epic may have just recognized this idea and just been like, why not just do no live events? We spend no extra money, no staff is needed, especially when they had a layoff of employees and no time is spent, so they can just start working on stuff like the festival game mode, which I am assuming, I haven't been in this, so let me know that in the comments below, but I'm assuming it's just a B-Tech concert area where you spend 200 V-Bucks at the item shop to buy like a song and you can just go in and play some drums that you have to buy an emote for anyways. This is just more beneficial to Epic Games as a whole, as they're just creating a backup plan just in case Barrow ever fails. Particularly without actually doing a live event, they're saving money via not buying that many servers for all the people to be loaded into the game at one current time. Secondly, since they had the layoff of employees, they're probably going to need to get more employees just to be working on the live events, and I don't think it's profitable enough for them to actually consider doing that. All of those things actually cost a ton of money, which I feel like Epic just doesn't want to sacrifice, especially with FNCS going on in the side as well, and they've got other things that are going on at the same time that they don't want to lose the money on. Another point that I have is from a different perspective, is that like maybe we're just bored of concerts and we just don't really care, since after the Ariana Grande concert, people really weren't too keen on that concert and we didn't really like it that much as we did with the Travis Scott and Marshmellow, and that might just be because it was Ariana Grande and majority of the people that play Fortnite are males, and you know, maybe they just don't like that type of genre of music. But I feel like if they wanted to really, they should have collabed with someone like Drake potentially, or even Kendrick. Maybe not Drake in the current situation that we're in. Rapper would maybe have benefited them a bit more than Ariana Grande, just from their demographic, of course. That's what I really think about live events in general in Fortnite, and let me know down in the comments below what you think, because that really matters. I read every single comment below for sure. I'll make sure to respond, and if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider watching this video on the screen.